Hello and good day, everybody. So, today's podcast is going to be sort of different outside of my tech commentary. And so, on today's channel, I'm going to be doing my very first interview with anyone in a very long time. And this will be one of those year end podcast releases, um, which I don't ever do interviews all the time. And one of those things I will say is this has been quite of a joy and quite of a treat to do an interview like this, and especially to get to know what is VTubing. And VTubing for me, it's comes down to something like this is well, I've got to say though, I when I first got or heard about VTubing, it was very confusing. And just like everybody else, I think a lot of people didn't accept VTubing. And I've noticed one thing is when I heard about my friend doing VTubing as something that he does over the weekends. So besides his day job as a caretaker, I ended up going out of my way and talking to him, doing a free um, just a free topic conversation, general questions about VTubing, all things I wanted to find out, which, very honestly, something I want to um, get to know more about VTubing and get to know Charlotte, which that's the name she goes by, in respect of her privacy. Figured I won't reveal IRL names because it is important to keep important to not get those things revealed. But I will say honestly, it's been a very cool year with diverse media and just so much things happening along the way too. And without further ado, I definitely want to go ahead and get this podcast started. And guys, if you like this channel, make sure to subscribe to your favorite podcast services of your choice. And just remember, hit like and subscribe on YouTube if you want to hear more interview style content like this, because that would be incredible to get like more internet personalities, YouTubers, content creators, and even people from the tech world, which I am trying to find more people to do more interview style content like this, and that way it will basically branch out to more than just solo commentary, which I enjoy myself, but love to have a bigger perspective and bigger take on this too. So, anyways, you guys can go ahead and check out everything what she does. So I'll have all the links down below in the description details. So if you want to check out Princess Charlotte VT, you can check it down below and subscribe to more of her content, because she is very consistent and absolutely adore the heck out of her skills and everything that she does. So anyways, super awesome to get the chance to interview one of my longtime friends. And I've got to say though, it's just been an incredible time to be alive, and especially seeing VTubing just exploding out of the scene. So, however, um, she is a small content creator, so definitely wanted to give a few shout out, ask general questions about VTubing and how this all came out to be. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this interview as much as I did, because it took me a bit of work to do this kind of interview style interview podcast. So, and hopefully all of you enjoyed it as much as I did. Take care, and I can't wait to hear more of your feedback soon. And if you want to make sure to leave a comment and hopefully make my content better, please comment down below. And anything I will take is for feedback for further improvement, or more so, if there's any guests you want me to check up on, write it down on the YouTube comments below. I always read them, always will. So without further ado, let's roll it to the interview. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming in and listening to the Leon LeGray podcast. This is episode 205. I think it's over 205 now. Actually, excuse me. It is 206 of the Leon LeGray podcast. So the hostess with the mostest. So this time I am with my host, Princess Charlotte. She is a VTuber. She streams on YouTube every weekends. So with that, she's been, I would say, a wonderful inspiration, especially to me. And I think we almost inspired each other as time went on too. And that was, I would say, we've basically known each other for a very, very long time, even from outside of VTubing. And Princess Charlotte, if you want, go ahead and introduce yourself to my audience, and uh, just about yourself, really, on this too, because just that way everyone can get to know you as a VTuber and what is VTubing.
All right, so hello, my name is Princess Charlotte, and I am an independent VTuber. Now, what that means is I am a virtual YouTuber, which is a concept that originated in Japan, where people would have anime-styled avatars and stream on platforms like YouTube and Twitch, etc.
Cool.
And originally when it started out, we would make like vlogs and Let's Play style content. But eventually that evolved into live streaming as the new norm.
Okay.
Now, what it means to be independently funded, an independent VTuber, is that most of the costs related to VTubing come out of our pocket.
Gotcha. Okay.
Versus an agency VTuber, where like a lot of the stuff is handled by a corporation. So that kind of like, when you get into an agency, it eliminates a lot of the startup cost. But one of the trade-offs is a portion of your earnings has to go back to the company you joined in order to make up for the cost they spent on you.
Wow. Okay.
And like I said, as an indie, you have to pay for everything.
Wow. Oh, gotcha. So now as an independent VTuber, or virtual YouTuber, it's you see as this as a pretty much of a challenge, and I'm sure not just you, but as someone that you followed on the VTubing community for, I would say, like, how long have you followed this whole phenomenon on VTubing?
Well, my current project has been going on for about 9 months.
9
well,
months.
No, that's actually wrong. That's 10 months.
Okay, 10 months. All right. Cool. All right.
Yeah, so pretty close to a year.
Okay. Nice. Oh. Nice. And that's amazing. That will go. Still, that's quite of a stretch for the character for Princess Charlotte. Now I wanted to find out, because I know sometimes I see like VTube Studios come up on your status sometimes, and the other thing I wanted to find out too, like how Princess Charlotte came about, and Charlotte, and just the idea of VTubing, like how did it all came out? Because I remember as you know, you and I, as I follow you for a long time, you went with another character. That was pretty successful, but then
Yeah, so I did rebrand.
then you ended up rebranding for plenty of reasons. So for sure.
Yeah, mostly personal reasons.
Mm, gotcha.
I was just kind of not satisfied with what I was doing at that point.
Got it. And so
So
that
I just wanted to try something different.
I see. So and
Oh,
that
you were saying?
so I was saying so from that point you decided to make from the old school character from Max to Charlotte, and so that said that you wanted to try out something fresh, and that way that will kind of spark a fresh brand new idea too, right there too. Basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, because I mean, like, as our audience don't know, because I know, as someone like myself, we've known each other. So outside of VTubing, we've known each other for about 16 years. So that's a super long time
Almost a
for
decade.
yeah,
Yeah, more than a decade.
more than a decade. Yeah, and a lot of people don't know that out besides being a moderator for your channel, we definitely know each other in person, but overall we still connect via the internet because that's something that we do on a daily basis because we both outside of the internet we work on regular jobs, so we have to work. We both have to work because it's hard. It's definitely nowadays it's been difficult
Yep.
seeing each other. So, but besides that, I definitely enjoy the style of it, and I end up growing a lot more. I'm sure most of your older fans from the Maximilian years converted over to your channel now, which is super awesome to see. Which you've got now still a lot of support moving forward. And how was the reception, especially from fans, right there too? Because I know it takes a lot of time to build an audience to even to come.
Oh my God, does it ever?
Yeah, and how do you respond? How do you bring such an audience, and how do you get an audience going in VTubing? Because I know I see a lot of streamers, and it takes a long time, especially like IRL streamers or gaming or regular gaming streamers in general. Like, how is that? How does that work in general too? And do you speak with a lot of VTubers having difficulties bringing an audience?
Yeah, it can be really tough. Say, like, you're on Twitch
Mm-hmm.
and you, like, don't market yourself correctly. You can end up streaming to, like, literally nobody for a very long amount of time.
Yeah,
And it's pretty brutal.
it does.
On
Absolutely.
YouTube, growth is a little easier, but you have to kind of know. Think about this for a minute. Like, what do you use YouTube for on a daily basis?
For
Like,
myself,
regarding gaming and entertainment?
right? Exactly.
Yes, yourself.
Okay, so like gaming, FAQs, interviews, basically watching other people's playthroughs. So basically, that's me myself.
Yeah, so that's kind of what you need to think about when you're making content for YouTube. Is what are people looking for? And
Oh yeah,
if you can figure that out and make your content attractive to people who are interested in that sort of information, YouTube growth is, well, okay, it's not exactly a snap. That's still a lot of work.
oh yeah.
But, it makes it a little more streamlined. Yeah, streamlined.
Mm. Oh,
So,
gotcha.
like, let's say, you're streaming something for like a video game that you're familiar with,
Hmm.
or doing a Let's Play series. You could like label it a walkthrough, and like people who are also looking for entertainment but a guide at the same time
Hmm.
can like come into your stream and be like, hey, can I kind of like use yours as a guide?
Mm,
And that's sort of how it works.
okay, gotcha. Yeah, I've noticed that as well with
Yeah.
Twitch. Yeah, and it's hard. It's difficult, mad difficult to even be a VTuber on Twitch, for various reasons. I mean, we don't have to go in depth on it, honestly, because well, the rules change all the time on Twitch, and I feel like YouTube,
Oh my god.
it's very, the rules do change on YouTube, but it's not as crazy. It doesn't fluctuate every like every 2 months whenever there's an issue. And I feel that YouTube it's starting to become
Yeah.
very streamlined with VTubers, and it's funny because feel that the VTuber community is, how should I put it, a very um mess, or people are just not like informed about what VTubing is, and people get like they get kind of have a bad image of VTubing as um anime figures, and people are just behind the screen, don't want to show their face, which very honestly, they have such a very raw, pretty bad perception of that. Or that's the word I'm trying to find. A bad view on VTubers, that I think it's very people just have a negative image on that, which I don't understand why. But I think there's a reason for anything. For one, I think a lot of people don't want to show their faces, and also the characters are cute. Like how can I how can you not love a cute anime
Yeah,
girl,
I know,
or
right?
yeah, or a good hot figure guy too. And plus, I mean, and that makes freedom pretty much gives a lot of freedom. I honestly think when it comes to it, VTubing. I think it's a lot of people just don't understand it. Like I tried to explain this to a friend over the pond, and he doesn't get VTubing at all. And it's like, okay, that's fine, but not everybody's going to get it, to be honest. um, let's face it, it's tough to be a VTuber, and I'm sure you get your hate comments a lot, especially from other people online.
Oh yeah. I mean, there are a lot of people negative things to say about what I do.
Yeah, totally. It's a very hard thing to brush it away, and I mean, there was one. I think it's one thing that comes down to it is that a lot of people continue to do it, but they try not to get too discouraged at the end of the day, because people enjoy what they do, and I feel that whenever I see you in the
Exactly.
weekends, um, streaming your games, or just do a free talk, or for just chatting, I feel that you do enjoy what you're doing, and and it's not like people are just having avatar figures just because they're sad or anything like that. They're just a sad person behind hiding behind the character. But I feel that they just they do want to have a character, have an alternate character, because you're all at the really, you're just acting out as the person. Is that right? Yeah, I mean, most likely.
Yeah, I'm just playing a role.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's all, and that's why I see that people don't understand where there is a lot of work with VTubing, and you gotta play the role really really well to do that, especially. And for me, however, I actually got asked one time if ever want to do VTubing, but very much so VTubing, I feel that it's going to be a very hard start now, since my niche has already become gaming and technology at this point. So it's not something like I would ever do, unless if I decide to become a very animated figure character of myself. That would be really fun to do. But yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So That would probably maybe be an idea I'll have in my back burner one day, but that's for sure. But besides all that too, let's see here. Taking a look at the time. Okay, cool. We got plenty of time to kill. Um, but overall, let's get with another question I have in mind. Um, your main niche before, I remember it's always been horror gaming, and now have you expanded further outside of horror?
Yes, I have.
Okay, and
So now I still do play a lot of horror,
okay,
but I've also expanded into like anime inspired games like visual novels, simulators, puzzle games, and retro games as well.
oh okay, nice. Yeah, I've seen the some of the visual novels on your stream, not live on stream, but off stream. Visual novels is like a big thing on your channel, and then horror gaming. Because I noticed with when you've went from Maximilian to Charlotte now, Miss Princess Charlotte, I remember you've still kept the whole horror aspect coming into your channel, and it's always fun to see you play horror game. And currently now you're playing Silent Hill 2 remake.
Yes, I am.
Cool.
It's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, love it. I love every bit of that Silent Hill 2 remake. But I think you've understood my. I remember in chat the time I was there. But no, like I said, no offense to Blooper. I love Blooper to death, but I always praise the
It can't beat
original.
the original.
It just can't. No, absolutely not. Yeah. So
No, the original is an incredible game.
yes.
Now, I love the remake to bits. But would I choose it over the original? No.
Exactly. Now, same here.
But now hold on.
Mhm.
Luke Roberts is an incredible voice actor, and he does such a good job with James Sunderland.
Yes. The
We're so
current.
kind of mad that he didn't win the VGA awards.
Oh, you serious?
But he did win the Horror Game Awards.
Okay, that's good. That's good, man. I haven't
But the
followed up.
VGA is still a joke, and I hate it.
Oh gosh, I heard it's been a joke, and I think a lot of people said it, and I just haven't follow up on VGA rewards. Very honestly, yeah, for sure. Oof.
Yeah. I watched it, and they were like promoting this really weird-looking cat game. And I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, I've.
And then everybody else was talking about it, and they were saying, like, this looked really sus.
Yeah,
And I went onto the Steam page, and I was like, they definitely paid to have this feature there.
Ooh, oh my goodness, crazy though, right? I mean, I remember like that was a ritual for all. I think for not just I, but all of us gamers enjoy the VGAs, and I think it's so construed to this point that you don't even know if the VGAs are really really good anymore or legible at this point too. And I kind of feel it's like I think it's lost a bit of integrity, but I don't know. But could be me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But so and now I mean we've definitely talked about your style of your gaming style, which is visual novels, horror, any other genres you play?
Okay, so like I do puzzle games, and I also do simulators.
Okay, cool,
and retro games.
nice. Retro. Oh yeah, my favorite too. Favorite retro game.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna repeat,
Okay.
but it was definitely Silent Hill 2.
Yes, I agree. But we're both on the same page. Silent Hill 2, great retro game. Absolutely. Any of my audience listening to, I'd say play the original Silent Hill 2, and before you get into the remake, honestly, you'll love the enhanced edition. To all my audience out there, no sponsorship, but definitely recommend it before jumping to the remake. Just saying. But I agree.
Yeah,
Besides,
this stream is definitely not being paid for by Konami.
no, absolutely not. So I'm not getting paid to do this promotion through Konami at all. So, but besides Capcom's Resident Evil, I do enjoy the. I mean, I do love the remake they did with 2 and 4, but the OGs are still, um, it's still there into my top tier list, and I have played the OGs when I first purchased it on GOG. It's great. They're all. I personally think they're all great, but besides that too, great horror franchise on both sides. Konami's Silent Hill and Capcom's Resident Evil series. So definitely. And but yeah, and
Oh yeah.
oh for sure. So anyways, um looking about it right there, so that's we've already did our top retro games, which are our favorite ones, of course. So another thing I have in mind, let's see here. So mm, besides besides working in VTubing, so an outside question too. So letting your fans know, Charlotte, I have another one, which is, let's say, movies. You and I, we both watch movies all the time, and so your favorite genre of movies.
Action.
Hmm?
Yeah, I like action.
Oh, action. Oh, okay, action. Nice. Because I and also last movie you went to see in the theaters.
Oh, I'm trying to think. Let me see here. It's been a while. Let me check something I got.
Yeah, it's it's a good question, but it's definitely a difficult one.
Then give me a minute.
No problem.
Okay, it definitely wasn't this one. I think the last movie I went to see in theaters. Uh, try to remember the title. Alright, I got a ticket like right here. And it was Shang-Chi, I think.
Shame.
I don't remember. No, it's Shang-Chi.
Shane T. Okay.
Yeah, it's a Marvel movie.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Shane T.
And it was pretty okay.
Hmm. Okay.
I
Cool.
haven't been to a theater in a long time, though.
Yeah, for sure. I think same as well until recent. I would say before before December, I remember going to see back in June in France. I went to see the movies with my French friend, Furiosa Mad Max. Um, have you? By the way, have you seen the Mad Max series?
Yes, I have. Thunderdome is my favorite.
Oh, nice, nice. I've only watched one of Mel Gibson's movies, which is the first one, not the first, second, or third. No, unfortunately, I have seen Fury Road, and Furiosa was really good on its own. But I wouldn't recommend Furiosa to jump on Furiosa because you will be confused. So, that was a good one. I did see Sonic the Hedgehog 3 this year along with Nosferatu. You will be blown away with Nosferatu, Charlotte. Just saying, love the movie.
Yeah, I want to go see that so badly.
Oh yeah, it's wild. I think you will. There's not like a lot of jump scares, but you'll definitely get the feeling of horror, and the setting is very very gothic. You're just like blown with the camera work and the setting. Oh my god, you'll be in awe. Yeah, so Nosferatu, I definitely recommend. Absolutely.
Ooh, I'm getting excited just thinking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, trust me. I mean, I'm bringing that anticipation really nicely with Nosferatu. I would say, just summing it up nicely, it's like the best movie of 2024. And I know not everybody's going to agree with me, but whatever. But I love the movie. So yeah. That's
You know what, man? I got
yeah.
taste that some people don't agree with either.
Oh yeah, for sure. And the good question, I would say, next one. So outside of movies, we've definitely talked about good a bit of films. Question for you is, so besides gaming and movies, what about music? I know the last time we went to a live concert, that's been a while. We've been to a live concert together. Now, what's your favorite genre of music?
Heavy metal.
Ooh, nice. Same. Heavy metal. Tops it as well. So
I also like punk too.
punk. Nice. Okay. Have you always been a punk chick?
Well, I'm still relatively new to punk
Oh, gotcha. Did you get
because I've only been familiar with the genre for a couple of years.
okay, gotcha. Because I know this when we first met, I would say years ago, you haven't been a big punk gal, and but you've just been exposed recently by friends and all.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think
Cool. All right. Yeah, punk. All right. That's surprising actually. I didn't expect that one right there too, because I know it's very fast, and the thing is it's basically the songs are shorter compared to heavy metal. But that's what I know is like
yeah, they really are. They're very fast paced.
fast paced and short to the point compared to the heavy metal genre. Absolutely too. Cool. But yeah, that I always stick with old school, so that's always been my favorite genre. Sweet. Cool, man. That is an awesome turn too. So besides artist wise, if you had to go and see an artist live next, what would it be?
Man, I really need to think about this.
I'm giving you an answer.
Okay. I'm trying to think. Is Dream Theater still active?
Oh yeah, still active. Absolutely.
Dream Theater.
Good choice. Oh yeah. I remember we've both seen it. You've seen it twice. I've seen it 3 times before.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, that's always been a favorite band of mine. I don't mind seeing them the 4th time because now they've got their original drummer back in the band now. So that makes me a lot more excited to go and purchase tickets for the next tour. Yeah, actually. Did you hear that the original drummer came back?
No, I didn't. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, he's been back for a while. This year, they have just announced that Mike Portnoy came back to Dream Theater after his long hiatus. He left the band around 2010. But yeah, that was a long time. And now Mike Magini stepped out of the set drum kit and now is doing his own solo work now. Which, by the way, we both seen. You've seen Mike Magini on drums like twice during the tour, which
Yes, I have. I saw him.
oh yeah, he's still an incredible drummer by all
He's
means, but
pretty good.
very very good by all means. Love the guy so much, but hopefully when they come back again in the Atlanta area or wherever they come, I'd love to get some tickets coming up in 2025 because I know it's a new year and I know a lot of bands are getting prepared for tour next year. So for me, besides Dream Theater, oh my god, that's a tough one for me because there's so many good bands and artists out there I want to try to see. But if it was a band I want to see, I would say Sabotage, and only because of the exposure, because my younger brothers exposed me to that band. That made me much more interested with Sabotage, but unfortunately, I don't see a North America tour on that. So they're mostly tour on South America and Europe. But yeah, who knows? They'll probably end up touring in North America one day. Just kind of cross our fingers and see. So yeah, well, good choice. I love to get around to Dream Theater.
Same here.
Oh, and another question: how was the holidays, by the way? And did you get to spend a good bit of time with family, or like how was the holidays for you? Because I've been meaning to say that in the beginning of the interview, but and I ended up going along with other questions in mind. But I figured, let me ask you, how was it? Do you get to stream or mostly with family?
Okay, so this Christmas actually went really well.
Cool.
I didn't stream because I wanted to spend some time with my family that day. But I did stream on Christmas Eve. And that was a lot of fun.
Nice. Yeah, and that's the
I got to play a Christmas themed game.
oh, nice. I love that. Oh gosh, I wish I actually you did announce that on Christmas Eve, but I that's the day I missed it on Christmas Eve. Oh my god. I was actually working that day, so I was like, "Oh no." I can't believe I missed that part.
Oh no, retail.
Trust me. I'm dreading retail more as it go on within the years, and now I'm having to overspend on retail now. It's starting to wear on me. Trust me, it's not great at all. And for anyone, I tell anyone, don't stay in retail for a long period of time because that will rot your brain. The longer you stay, yeah.
Yeah, it will burn you out.
Yeah. But again, I mean, the bills have to pay, unfortunately. So, I mean, of course, I still got to pay the bills for internet, and internet's not free, and so is VTubing. So, of course, you have to pay for the model, and
No, it is not.
yeah. And I remember you've discussed this with your artists about like new models and stuff like that. Yeah, that's an important part about VTubing. Like, where to a point that I see a lot of VTubing, they go from the PNG and then going to live models. And how does that all work? Because I know a lot of people, they don't ever understand about that. Takes a lot of RAM into your computer, like especially when you're running VTube Studios on your computer, because it does take a bit of resources.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, because I think you've had attempted to
Because,
do it.
like, YouTube Studio by itself. Oh, you were saying?
Yeah, because I remember you and your live channel that it took a lot of resources. I think it was very hard to watch because of the resources it takes in your computer.
Yeah, it does use a lot of resources.
Hmm.
So like VTube Studio itself maxes out at about 6 gigabytes of RAM. And it also uses some of your GPU.
Wow.
So you're going to be running VTube Studio, OBS, and whatever game you're playing that day, plus whatever additional software you use. And as you can imagine, well, it gets a little... How should we put it?
Mhm.
Hectic.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and especially when you're starting up like your stream all the time, because that's one thing is like you're starting up a stream and that's I think that's the downfall when it comes to VTubing is you when you're starting up it does take
It is a lot of work to get going.
yeah. It's not like you pop into a stream and then you start up right away. I don't think a lot of people understand VTubing.
No.
Yeah.
It is not that simple.
No. But
And if you don't check everything,
Mhm.
there's always a potential for something to go wrong.
True. And at least some of your audience will learn from this, especially. And now listening to the podcast, and because I know when people come out and say, "Oh, how simple is VTubing?" And now, Princess Charlotte, your responses on what that would be.
It is not easy.
Okay.
So besides having to have a lot of specialized technical knowledge, it can also be expensive depending on who you want to work with and what kind of model you want.
Gotcha. Wow.
So like say you want a really basic model or a PNG. A really basic model can start around like as little as $35.
Hmm.
But if you want a high quality model, and this is just for like art alone.
Right.
This doesn't include the cost of animating it.
Wow. So
It can start at 500
Ooh.
and just goes up from there.
Wow. There's that expense right there. So there's the costs in the whole category.
Yeah.
Being a VTuber, and I know, and that's
And that 500 is just for the art.
gosh.
That's not to get it animated.
Goodness gracious. Yeah.
And if you want to get like a really nice model with good art and animation,
Mhm.
it can cost you over $1,000.
Alone. 1,000 alone. Ooh.
Yeah.
Goodness. Yeah.
It's not for the faint of heart.
Yeah. Now I can see why. It's so difficult to be even a VTuber because of the cost wise. So yeah, I mean, learning from you, Charlotte, I definitely learned a lot coming from you, and especially coming from the VTubing world, and I remember I was asked by I think one of your audience or someone like that. I said, "Hey, how about you get into VTubing?" I said, "I'm not too sure because now you explained it very carefully. It's at least opens up my my eyes a bit too. It's like, oh, I might have to consider that too. So that's good to know. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely a commitment.
For sure. Like once you put the money down in, and for your artist to work on it, that's something you have to truly stay like you said committed, and that way you have to go through basically go through the process of VTubing. Okay, gotcha then. All right. Wow, because that's why I've always loved to do audio only podcasts and video streams, because I thought, as someone like me, like I've always been exposed to it. My stream exposure was Twitch, and that was always been a big thing when it comes to streaming. But now you just got a variety of streamers basically, and VTubing is basically another form of entertainment that's basically just picking up the ground more and more every year now. So, but yeah, that's pretty wild. I mean, for your stream, I mean, right now you've already garnered now close to 150 subscribers. I mean, still, congratulations, Charlotte. So, and for the effort you do,
Yeah, I'm sitting at 550.
wow, 550, gosh, and besides the fans, I mean, now talk about your fans a little bit too, because I know, I come into your channel, especially moderate the channel about I would say almost every week on this too. It depends on if I'm able to jump in, and I see you got basically a good loyal viewing, and I'm sure that it all comes down to dedicating your craft and your channel all the time too, because especially you definitely are keeping a good audience to come back.
Yeah, so one of the things I would say to building a good community or fan base is to be consistent. And I know that's not always the easiest thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because trust me, there are some days when I get off of work and I'm just like, oh God, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
But then I remember there are people waiting for me.
Definitely. And I think,
so I'm like, okay, gotta do this.
Oh yeah. And then you still got to work on it, because that's your baby, that's your channel, and then soon your YouTube, if you do become well, to the top of your game. I mean, I'm sure nobody's going to stream for free. One of these days. I mean, you're sure you're going to enjoy this enjoyment, but at some point you definitely will want to have ad revenue coming to your channel at least one of these days too, especially with VTubing is becoming a lot more popular now. I mean, you definitely want to have your next bread and butter, not just your job, but your stream career moving forward.
Yeah, it would be nice to start making a little bit of ad revenue.
Yeah. Well,
eventually, when that does happen.
Oh yeah, well, I'm wondering.
I can like pay future projects and stuff.
Yeah.
Continue to upgrade my PC.
Oh yeah, you do.
Improve my streaming setup and buy new games.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, that's there's always a cost in anything, and the one thing I think a lot of people feel they think they can get out from content creators is that they can just go out and stream for free, and I mean that's not always the case, because I mean you have to understand, it's like, hey, we gotta pay our bills some way, and sure the ads are annoying, but that's helping content creators to go by all the time.
And that's right.
Yeah. And that's the truth, because I talked to streamers on both Twitch, or excuse me, not just YouTube, just Twitch, but Twitch, YouTube, and Kick, and they said the same thing as well. And they said the same thing, is that you gotta be consistent and you gotta learn how to work your ass off. All of them said the same thing too. Yeah, and that always takes a lot of your time.
That's exactly right.
Oh yeah. And it's no easy task, because for one, like I get why people miss out on streaming a lot, because where it comes down to it, you gotta understand which is your main bread and butter, the 9 to 5 or streaming. But yeah, just like anything, you still gotta open up your availability and of course, and then and make sure you get your audiences out there. So that's another thing I definitely will say about streaming. If you streaming will become another source if you decide to put the work into it too, because just like anything, people think that audience will just come to you right away. That's not how it goes. Yeah,
Nope, it takes time.
definitely. Yeah.
It takes time and effort and work.
That's a really good segment to go about on this too, because I honestly think talking about the VTubing world is, like I said, it's super popular, and I've got to say, I think there's been a lot of YouTubers as well before you, and before you started Princess Charlotte VTube. Who was your inspiration on starting out with VTubing?
Okay, so there was this really old VTuber. I don't think she's active anymore. She kind of went on hiatus for a bit, but let me see when the last time she did anything. Oops, let me pause this. Yeah, so the last time she did anything was like a year ago.
Ooh. A year.
No, the last time she did a live was a year ago.
Oh wow, that's
But she did make a new video like 4 weeks ago.
okay. Wow.
So Kizuna Ai, she was one of the original VTubers.
Wow, that's incredible.
She started making content back in... Well, she made content like 8 years ago.
Oh.
Yep, starting 8 years ago.
8 years. Oh. Dang.
Yep.
Dang, that's still a lot. Wow.
That just shows you that the VTubing industry is still pretty new.
Yeah, and VTube just has only been around just what, 8 years? Wow,
Yeah.
incredible. Wow.
It hasn't been around very long,
No, I mean, I feel that was very
And
good.
it only started getting popular.
Mhm.
Oh, you were saying?
Yeah, I was saying, like, I felt that just been a very new thing, like, if just as of recent, like, I don't know what tunnel I've hid under, but I just felt like, man, it just came out of nowhere once I started discovering VTubing, I think a few years ago, and it's like, ooh, wow,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's amazing.
It didn't really start getting popular in the English-speaking communities until about 2020.
Wow, okay, just 2020. Okay,
Yeah,
amazing.
that's right.
And I remember another thing I've in live chats. There was one time you said Markiplier was partially your inspiration into getting into streaming.
Yeah. So, like, Markiplier and PewDiePie were kind of like some of the reasons I wanted to get into content creation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, content creation.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there were some of the reasons I wanted to do that.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I've enjoyed both content creators. I think are really unique. Both of them are very unique in their way, their comedy or the way they do things. I've always enjoyed both content creators. To be honest, like there's no top favorite though. But I definitely enjoyed PewDiePie.
No, there's not.
Yeah, no, there's no competition between the two. And I've always figured that PewDiePie was just unique as just as Markiplier did with his content, his style of content too, because his voice, like when I've met you, first time, like I've always thought you've had a quite of a radio voice yourself. Besides the
Yeah, a lot of people who hear my actual voice,
Mhm.
they say I sound like Mark.
Yeah, that's wild. And And the funny thing is, like, I remember when we gone out a lot, I remember people said that you should get onto radio or podcasting, and it's really wild because I think you could do it too if you wanted to.
Oh yeah, I think it could work out.
Yeah, I can definitely see you branching out to other venues, and I'm sure if you talked about any subject, like I don't care what topic that is, if it's VTubing, music, movies, you'll probably get a good following pretty fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that's all. That's awesome though. Well, Princess Charlotte. I know we definitely had a definitely good conversation the with your top topics on music, movies, games, variety of subjects, especially, and also you've been, I have to say, with as someone I know in online and a person I know offline forever. I think your characters just brings really well with and not just me. So you definitely put a good impression, and I think that was the reason why I got into other genres more. I mean, I knew Final Fantasy when I was younger, but like the more we talked about stuff like JRPGs, I think you were one of the reasons I got into, I say, Dragon Quest, and I would love to dig into more Dragon Quest, and I think that was the reason why we ended up connecting for like long as we did. I mean, most people don't stick with around too long, and I don't think a lot of people would ever understand our friendship together too. Yeah, so and I think it's quite wild that how long we've known each other.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's been basically a wild journey, and hopefully more to come out the coming years. So and definitely for sure too. I would say when the next decade, or I would say the 20-year mark comes, we definitely have to do a big ass celebration, maybe a trip to Tokyo. Yeah,
yes.
yes, because I would love to see the Square Enix building and all the stuff that goes on in Japan. I think it's so fascinating.
Oh yeah, I would love to as well.
All right, all right. And so to put a close to the podcast and the podcast, we've definitely basically bringing a good enlightenment with the VTubing scene and everything you brought into the topic of on VTubing, and anything you want to bring into the ending, especially to fans listening out there. Anything you want to say before we can conclude with the podcast and put an end to the podcast?
Okay, let me go ahead.
Okay.
I want to say to anybody who follows me on YouTube, if you didn't watch this, I really appreciate it. Cause my friend here, he works really hard on what he does. And he's an incredible person that I've known for a very long time. And I really enjoy working with him when I can.
Thank you.
And I also appreciate all the continued support I've gotten for my own personal projects as well. Like I said, you guys are amazing. And I look forward to continue what I'm doing right now and the future to come.
Beautifully said.
And I think that's about it for me.
Cool. Well,
Thank you.
no problem too. And so that is it for the episode of today, and we're gonna put it into closing. Thank you so much, Princess Charlotte, for coming into the podcast, very first podcast feature of you, and hopefully one day we'll probably do a reappearance one of these days. So definitely.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. So, all right, everyone.
Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. Not at all. Too. All right. So And thank you everybody for coming in to episode 206 of the Leon the Great podcast. So that is it. And hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoy what you're listening to on today's channel, be sure to like and make sure to subscribe for more interview contents like this, because this is not going to be my last and final interview. There will be more content in the future, including my solo talk show about technology, new things, guest hosts, just like what we did, like I did today. And if you want to make a request on what other featured guests I'd like to see in like in the industry or guests like this, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll be open to more like this. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of the new year of 2024 while we're closing in 2024, entering in 2025, which is quite wild, which is going to be around the corner. Whew, oh my God. So anyways, everyone, adios.
Bye bye.